Hey guys, so I've been sent these pens. I actually got emailed to ask to do a review on them, and I had to buy them and then they give me the money back for them. So this is paid by them, but the review will be purely my opinion on them. You know me, I don't lie, I just like to tell you what I truly think of them. So these ones, I've only had a quick go on them and I'll show you in a second. And they've got some good and bad points, but we're going to go over the whole thing and you can tell me down in the comments what you think. So these are the, I assume it's pronounced WaloWalo, I don't know, it's W-A-L-O-W-A-L-O. And it's 120 coloured dual tipped brush pens. One side is a brush or felt tip style and one is like the fine liners. So you can see here the brush is 1.6 millimeters and the fine liner is 0.6 millimeters. Made in China. And the box is gorgeous and it even acts as a little holder to hold your pens, displaying them while you're using them, which is really nice. In the top of the box, each colour is colour coded, and this is the rough idea. But one of the things I've spotted, and I will show more of in a minute, is this doesn't necessarily represent the colour of the pen. But so when we open them up, I can show you the box. You just fold that down and it just uses a magnet and clips in place there like that, and that becomes a little stand to hold your pens in. Don't know how well you can see the angle on that, but it's quite good. It's a nice little way of holding your pens. You know, if you just line them up along there while you're working, you could easily grab a pen, so that's really good. So I have a little trouble picking out the pens. I just got some tweezers and just hook the pen that I want. Most of my nails are broke at the moment. If you've got nails or less chubby fingers, you could probably grab them out pretty easily, but I struggle if it's not the top row. But that's not a problem, it's easily solved, you know. Okay, so in this, when you first open them up, on the very top was sat two little sticker pads with numbers on them, corresponding to the 120 numbers of the pens. And also, I can put it on out before it runs away on me, this little piece of card for you to colour all your pens in for a swatch card. Now I've already done that off camera because it took me a while, because I've changed the order these came in. They're now in numerical order rather than colour coded, and I have a reason for that and I will explain it. But so this is the colour swatch card I filled in from 1 to 120. And I can see the colours are really gorgeous and really quite vibrant, and I'm really impressed with them. So the smaller lines are the fine liner part, and then the bigger squares are the brush part on each one. And they layer quite nicely. I've intentionally done them messy so you can see in some parts. Hopefully it's showing on camera, it may not be, but some of them there's just a single layer, and then I've striped through a second layer so you can see how the colour improves in vibrancy depending on whether it's one layer down or two layers down. Some of these colours are so seriously vibrant, it's wonderful. I mean 26 and 37 are just so bright, they're beautiful. And the colours are really nice and saturated. They're really vibrant. Some of the brush pens I do have, the colours actually are much more watercolour to style, so you don't get quite as much vibrant. These I found really vibrant, and I will show you the pens in a minute, but there was a small flaw in one of these pens, and that's number 41, and I will show you more. So this one here should be 41. Yep. See, this is why I've done them in order, because then I can literally just find the one I want in the correct place. So this is the way I've done it, and that's because the lids don't necessarily match the colour that you're doing here. So 41 has a really weird problem, and that is the bottom, the fine liner, is this orange colour you can see here, whereas the brush comes out yellow. And I don't know why that is. It's the only one that does it, but the bottom is orange and the top brush is yellow. Weird, no idea why. And you can see like the 26 here, the brush is really vibrant and the fine liner is much duller. So there's some differences with the pens between the two ends. I mean, that's the nice brush, nice thick brush end, and the fine liner. So they're really nice pens. They do have the numbers on, so we go 41 brush and 41 fine, so depending on which way up you're using it, you can always see the 41 up the right way. And it's got its branding, WaloWalo dual pen. So they're really nice pens. They're nice and light and really nice to hold, and they were really gorgeous to work with. They went on so smoothly. I was really impressed with them, and you do get a lot of colour saturation on most of the colours just with one layer, which was beautiful. Some of the colours are very different than what they showed. This one here, number 19, I can pick it up. As you can probably tell, it looks quite grey, but on the actual number here is actually closer to green. It's a green grey. So these two are very different, and there's a few of them in here that is very different. Make sure we put them back in the right order. Can't remember which other ones are the ones that are different right now, but you can have a quick look against them all. And yeah, there are a few. The actual pen lid colour is very different than the colour that they colour out on, which is why I've done it in numerical order, because it's easier to find my pens than trying to have the actual shade colour in the correct order, because I'd either have the shades of the lids or the shades of the pen, but you can't have both because of the differences with some of the colours. But saying that, that doesn't bother me, because we got this handy little swatch card so I can see which colour comes out on which, and so I know which one I want to grab for each one. But these are really beautiful pens, and I mean, look at that, there's not a single bit of bleed through on this piece of paper. It's a lightweight card. It's not too heavy. I'm not very good at judging card weight, but I'd say maybe it's 110 card weight or something. It's definitely less weight than my medium stock card I have over there, and yet it didn't bleed through anywhere. And some of these colours I did go over quite a few times intentionally, like 56 you see is really quite dark. I went over it several times in an attempt to make it bleed on the back so that I could see how much it could take, and it took quite a lot. But just because of the card, I actually grabbed one of my colouring books, and just on my scrap paper at the back, it's actually a page, not a scrap thing, but I tend to colour in section. This here is my Arteza watercolour brushes, which are very light. I barely used them, and it bled straight through the water, straight through the page. These here are these pens. Now this one was just one layer of the brush pen. This one here was one layer of the brush pen and some drawing with the fine liner, and this one was a layer of the light green, then a layer of the darker green in some sections, and then a whole layer of the light green again. So it's actually 3 layers of the brush on this one image, and look, it barely comes through, and I really attempted to heavily pile that on, and yet this was just one layer. So the difference is amazing, and I could definitely use these pens in my normal adult colouring books. This is the one that I did my colouring pencils in, because all my other colouring pens leak through these, but they did not trying to find the thing to close it. There we go. These did not leak through. These were really impressive for that. So I will be doing a colouring page from this book on camera in a time lapse at some point soon, so you can see how these work together in line, and I will give a update on these after I've used them a few times. But at the moment I'm really impressed with them. I didn't expect to be that impressed, because then full pens, they're not cheap, but I've paid a lot more money for less quality. These are $29.99 off Amazon. So it's not like small change. It is, you know, it's basically £30. But for the quality I got for them, I'm really impressed with them, and I'm not bothered about spending 30 quid on these pens. I'd spend that any day, because the colours do lay nicely. They are very vibrant. And there's so many different shades here that work well together to build up, like my leaves and the unicorn hair. The colours are going to build so nicely together that I'm really impressed with them. So yeah, I will do a colouring page soon so you can see them at work. For now, I'm just going to leave that here, and you can let me know what you think and ask any questions if there's anything you want me to show you. But for the moment, as things stand, I really do recommend these pens, because they're so smooth to work with. Let me grab, I don't know if I've got any paper, hang on. I'll grab one of my punch card things, and just, this is really cheap copier paper. I mean, as you can probably tell, it's really see-through. The printing stuff comes off on it. So if you heard that, that's just a glass chopping board falling down. Let's grab a darkish colour so that you can hopefully see it quite well. And this is the brush pen side of it. You can see just barely any pressure, and it really goes down really nicely. It's just so smooth. I'm applying no pressure, it just builds up really quickly, really nicely, and it layers really nicely together. I'll show you the fine liner. It just draws very smoothly. Again, no pressure, it's just gently resting, and you can tip it on an angle, and it just really smoothly draws and writes very lovely. That's not my signature if anyone's worried, so don't worry. So I am really happy with these, and I do want to do a bunch more drawings with them. I'm just doodling now just for the fun of it. But as you can see, the colour saturation on these is just amazing. Just one simple layer across, and you've got all that amazing colour through, and it just looks so gorgeous. I'm really, really happy. Let's hope I put that back in the right place, shall I? And look at that. This is cheap copier paper, and it's not come through at all. You can just about just here see where I did that multiple layers over, but it's not. It's only because the paper's slightly wrinkled. You can't even see the colour. I don't know if you can even see that. And that's on really cheap paper. So I'm really happy with these, and I'm so glad I got asked to do a review on them, because I'd never heard of this brand until they contacted me to do the review, and now I can honestly say when these run out I will buy more, because they are gorgeous. And anyone who knows me knows I have a lot of adult colouring books to get through, and finally having some nice brush pens that I can use in my colouring books I think is going to be fantastic. Because as much as I love my coloured pencils, there are some days you just want to have a quick colour, and colouring pens, especially these brush style ones, it's just going to colour so much more quicker. So that's my little opening and review of these, and I do love them. And to close it back up, it's just really easy to do that, and it is magnetised closed. Don't know if you can see that. It's it clips shut. So yeah, I really recommend them, and I hope maybe you can check them out. I will try to remember to put the link down below to the Amazon. Obviously I only link to the UK, but I'm sure you can probably find them on the American Amazon and all the other ones. But the box is really nice to work with. It's nice and thick and sturdy as well, so I'm really happy with them. So hopefully you will see me doing some colouring with them soon. You all take care. Bye.